Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Khoo Chong, and as usual, I'm joined by Charlotte Chong. Charlotte, for the first day in 6, we've seen the KLCI rise. Today it was up by 13.5 points, which is about an 0.8% advance to 1,678 points. Now, of course, the volume was 2.8 billion shares. The value was worth 2.3 billion ringgit. And Petronas Chemicals, Genting and PPV were the biggest gainers on the index, but only one decliner on the whole index, with the big 30, of course, which was Westports.
I think not just KLCI, for the entire region, we also saw a sea of green today. We see what happened yesterday was Wall Street actually up yesterday, and some of the stocks in Europe actually went up as well. And KLCI basically tracked the good news. But are you convinced of the global recovery from the United States?
You know, all these financial journalists, it's kind of like a red herring, right? Kind of like a mutton disguised as lamb, right? The thing is, nobody really believes the global recovery is going underway. It's just that we've had 6 continuous days of declines. And, after a little while, it's a technical bounce. So, sell, then buy, and then sell. So
basically, investors are taking opportunity to buy all these beaten down indexes.
Exactly. Well, what's happening around the region is, of course, the Reserve Bank of Australia meets today. Analysts are calling for further easing and measures to keep the currency on a leash. What that means is that the Australian economy is continuing to be weak, thanks to China or no thanks to China. And, of course, Bank Negara also will be meeting this week on Thursday. Chances are they'll probably keep interest rates unchanged as well.
So moving on to commodity prices, soft Chinese factory data actually raised concerns on energy demand. That's why it actually put pressure on crude oil prices. Brent crude actually down to $48.63 a barrel, and oil prices are also under pressure because of possibility of US raising its interest rates soon. And because of that, US dollar will strengthen. And because of that, oil prices will become more expensive. All
under pressure, just like the Queen song. So to Nikkei, just to say some regional stocks, down 2% to 18,683 points. The Hang Seng, Charlotte Chong, up by 0.9% to 22,568. And of course, in Australia, the ASX 200 up by 1.4% to 5,239. Let's move on to hot stock of the day and Hibiscus Petroleum Bhd, which is the first of Malaysia's 5 listed SPACs. The first to go public in 2011. My goodness, what a day they've had. They went limit down on the day, 34% at 34 cents. Intraday low is 25.5 cents. Today, the share price of Hibiscus is a quarter of what it was in December. How bad is that?
Something must have happened in a company, isn't it? But when we talk to fund managers, they say that it was because of margin calls and people are dumping shares in this company.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's been no news flow on the company. That's led to a lot of people speculating about what's really been going on. As you say, the rumor in the market is that the insiders are being hit by cash calls. They've used the money as collateral to borrow money. We've also seen how the chief executive, Dr. Ken Pereira, he's been active with the shares. He's been transferring shares back and forth, 2 million shares on October 28th. One other fund manager, Mercury Pacific Marine, has also been selling 3 million shares between 27th and 30th of October. So we don't really know what's going on there in the company.
But when I look at Bursa Malaysia and some of its press releases recently, they have announced news on its recent Sea Lion 1 exploration well. And 3D Oil Limited, which is a company working with Hibiscus Petroleum, they say that Sea Lion 1 exploration well has reached preliminary casing depth at 1,008 meters. If you look at the total depth, it's 1,800 meters, so they still have a fair bit to go.
Well, here's the thing with Hibiscus Petroleum. They've been listed 4 years, right? They've booked every single year as a loss, except for 1 year where it was just a bit of an asset revaluation, okay? They've bought qualifying assets, stakes in Norway as well as in Australia with 3D Oil and with Lime Petroleum. Yeah. None of the oil fields that they're involved with have struck oil. They say the technology is so good, they can detect oil from a mile away, but nothing's happened. It's all hibiscus has yet to bloom.
Now, bear in mind that first production from Sea Lion, this oil field, if the upcoming exploration well is successful, it would be expected in first half of 2017, which is still another year to go.
Absolutely. So just to take it all home with regard to Hibiscus Petroleum, the stock was suspended earlier in the day, having earlier plummeted. They've lost more than half the value in the last few months. Sources number 2 say insiders are selling and margin calls are to blame. And third, its new Australia project in prospect is still seen as unproven and therefore still highly risky. Charlotte, let's move along to some stocks with momentum. And today it's Puncak Niaga Holdings Bhd. That's was a water company. Now it's going to oil and gas as well as property. I think they've also just done a deal whereby they've sold their water assets. They've basically completed, and there's a dividend in the offing.
So shares actually up 3% to 2.92 today. It went up to intraday high of 3.09 today because of what you say. Investors are actually anticipating new dividends of 1 ringgit on December 23rd. And this was after they have concluded the water concessions deal with Pengurusan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd for about 1.55 billion ringgit.
Yeah, that's not bad. Of course, Puncak Niaga's major owner is Tan Sri Rosali Ismail, the chairman. He stands to gain 167 million ringgit. 167 million ringgit from the 40.2% he has in the stock.
Chong, you say Rosali Ismail or Ismail?
Yeah, Ismail. Yeah.
Anyway, well, the concern is that Puncak Niaga, after selling this water concession, they are planning to grow its oil palm and oil and gas ventures, and they have about 1 billion from its remaining proceeds to venture into all these little oil and gas and plantation ventures.
Well, how bad is that, right? Because here's the thing. Out of all the industries that they've got to get into, they've just done two, which is in the worst doldrums right now, right? Oil and gas, multi-year lows in their oil prices. Commodity prices are at a multi-year low. They're basically getting out of what is basically a safe, concession-driven business to get into two, well, doldrumish businesses in the form of CPO prices and oil and gas prices. So,
yes,
I mean,
will
they have a last-minute change of plan? I don't know.
But again, Tan Sri Rosali Ismail, he is actually from the palm oil sector, isn't it? I think he probably knows, things to buy in the oil palm segment. So probably he can use this 1 billion ringgit to venture into the oil palm sector.
Well, hopefully he'll do a better job at buying stuff than Hibiscus or Sona in terms of qualifying and profitable assets. So to take it all home with regard to Puncak Niaga, the stock is gaining on anticipation of dividends, Charlotte Chong. Yesterday, of course, Puncak Niaga announced a special dividend of 1 ringgit per share payable December 23rd, just before Christmas. And number 3, Puncak has sold their water business to plough the proceeds into the oil palm and oil and gas ventures.